What are your thoughts about Tesla stock these days? Trading at around $120 per share, the leading EV company's stock reached an all-time low. While many are becoming increasingly concerned about their holdings, others remain optimistic about Tesla stock's future. You definitely would not want to miss this info. Tesla experienced its fair share of headwinds and roadblocks in the past several months. Despite this, many investors remain bullish on Tesla, saying that the company is thriving and is most likely to continue to flourish in the future. A former Tesla employee who witnessed firsthand how the company functions at an unbelievably fast pace shared several speculations. According to him, Tesla stock might just get to $1 million. Joe Justice is the founder and CEO of Wikispeed. He also operated Agile at Tesla from Tesla's Fremont, California global headquarters. Joe earns his living by consulting globally on agile hardware and company restructuring, bringing multinational companies increased return on capital. He is also a TED.com speaker as well as a guest lecturer at MIT and Oxford University, both known as prominent academic institutions. That said, one can rest assured that Justice knows enough and is an expert on what he tells the public. In fact, he has been cited in more than 8 business paperbacks and hardcovers. In an interview, Joe Justice shared some insights about his stay at the leading EV company. He also provided gross predictions for the brand based on some insider information. He even revealed how the leading EV company manages to maintain and sustain the growth rate and make it higher. That said, how did Tesla succeed so much, and will it continue to do so? According to Joe Justice, the secret is adapting to the Agile methodology, which is a style of project management that divides a project into different phases. This helps by necessitating ongoing engagement with stakeholders while ensuring continual development at each stage. How does this process work? Once the job begins, the team will cycle through the processes of planning, executing, and assessing. In essence, rather than following a linear process, each team will go back and forth through the various production steps. Joe Justice said that Agile is the shortest responsible iteration cycle, which works by iterating once and then rethinking the strategy for the next week. The former Tesla employee said that the company and its people have the ambition to have walk-up to-do lists where they simply walk up to it and should have a list of things that need to be accomplished, and they can automatically understand the process with which it has to be done. Walk-up appears to be the simplest yet most brilliant concept, since one simply has to walk up and quickly but clearly understand within 5 short minutes how they can help. Imagine the amount of time that can be saved through this process. Instead of lengthy and boring meetings, this is a fun, creative, and productive way of working together as a team. This process simplifies things and makes sure that productivity levels are high, as well as monitoring whether everyone is adhering to the company's rules and strategies. Moreover, if any tests are to be done, then they can be completed by self-organized teams. There are also machine learning stacks that can measure and decide whether or not a contribution was beneficial to the company. Joe Justice said that all the contributions are measured by an automated system. That makes a lot of sense, since it can cut off all the fluff while streamlining only the most essential details, which make the work process more efficient and the company environment better as a whole. Justice also said that the moment an employee switches to factory mode, they can have access to the entire testing suites for each car. He further stated that people have the freedom to make changes and innovations mainly because each car will still undergo automated testing. This is because of Tesla's low comprehensive testing. In traditional production, a partial testing suite is used once per 1,000 cars, and full testing is only done after the annual design of a new model. However, this automated test suite must adhere to several quite strict guidelines. By now, Tesla is ready to try it out with its chassis and other aspects of the car, and if this is so, the fully automated test will verify the build quality, always ensuring it remains world-class. However, this varies from car to car. With the production process aside, Tesla becomes agile by increasing the value of people, and thus they can achieve faster results while maintaining the same quality or even higher. The Tesla stock first appeared on the NASDAQ stock market in June 2010. At the same time, the company had an enormous offering valued at $2 billion. However, on the very first day of trading, the stock price rose by almost 40%, closing up 23.89%, raising just over $226 million, making the company valued at $2 billion. That said offering was the first initial public offering by an American investor since Ford debuted in 1956. The primary market was then extremely enthusiastic about the stock, unlike the secondary market, who was not really impressed. Unbeknownst to the public at the time, Tesla had some concerns about its long-term survival. They had a very limited operating history, long history of losses, financial challenges, unpredictable consumer demand, pricey battery technology, and competition from traditional automakers were some of the causes for concern. Despite such concerns, Tesla still managed to acquire about $895 billion in market price, which for its industry is a steep rise. It will all make sense though, looking at Tesla as a tech company, especially with the way they adapted the Agile method. Joe Justice shared that Tesla maintains a good working environment. He explained that the main catalyst for such notable growth for the company is the 12-hour shifts and respect for the people they are working with. They are also always learning from each other in admirably adaptable teams in an environment where their work and its corresponding objectives could drastically change from hour to hour. Joe Justice also shared that Tesla is not at all about credentials, which is a great thing, according to him. He said the Tesla CEO, Elon Musk, does not care if he graduated from high school or not, since there is always a compelling business rationale for disregarding it. After all, humans are extremely powerful creatures. In 2016, Musk announced his plans of changing factories once every 2 years, which will help achieve 10x better productivity in 10 years. Fast forward to 2020, Musk said that optimizing a factory's layout and operations might enhance speed by up to 10 times. This seems to be going quite well for the firm, especially when looking at its internal corporate agility, aggressive swapping ability, and capacity to combat fires with precision. It only takes them a few minutes to focus 10,000 people on any problem that arises. Automotive experts say that each aspect of the car is manufactured by dozens of Tesla production calls and that each of them is acceptable in terms of quality, but they are iterating and attempting to learn and improve on each cell's parts, quality, and output. Tesla continuously introduces new technologies like dry cell batteries, gigapress, and new alloys to allow dramatic factory production and speed improvements, which bode for a brighter future for the company. Today, while Tesla stock experiences a downward trend, Tesla bulls and bears have differing opinions. In the bull case, Jeremy Bowman believes that Tesla is still the clear EV leader. Tesla created the market for electric vehicles and still dominates it today in the US. While the company will face increasing competition from both legacy competitors and pure-play EV companies like Rivian and Lucid Group, it will take time for those companies to ramp up production, meaning Tesla should continue to lead the EV market for the foreseeable future. In fact, during the first 3 quarters of 2022, 65% of the 525,000 electric vehicles registered in the US were Teslas, and it owned 86% of the luxury EV segment. Second place in total EV sales was Ford with just 7%. In other words, despite the hoopla over its emerging competition, Tesla is still leaps and bounds ahead of its competitors. Tesla's Model Y and Model 3 were the leading EVs in Europe through October of this year, and the company retains a significant presence in China, the world's largest EV market, but one in which consumers tend to prefer cheaper EVs. Tesla's track record of execution and wide profit margins should also give investors confidence going forward, as the company turned in an operating margin of 17.2% in the third quarter. The company also intends to increase production annually by 50% over the coming years, and if it can achieve that, investors should expect similar growth in revenue and profits. On the other hand, Parkev Tedovosian's bear case for Tesla centers on its expensive valuation. Tesla's stock is trading at a price-to-earnings ratio (PE) of 42.66, a multiple higher than General Motors (GM) 0.9%, Ford Motor Company (F) 0.44%, and Toyota (TM) 0.10%. These are car companies with decades of experience building and selling vehicles. It is worth noting, though, that Tesla sells only electric vehicles, while the others sell gas-powered and electric-powered cars. Overall, even experts are torn about Tesla's future, with some concerned while others are optimistic. Subscribe to this channel for more.